Hey, Chivaverse, we're going to go Puma hunting this weekend, and Tapatio is going to go alebrije hunting. See you in a few.
El pensar en estar en este club es muy bonito, que en lo personal me motiva mucho y como te comento voy a dar todo de mí.
Iniciaría a las 10.
Que esperen un Brian comprometido, a pesar de las adversidades va a seguir corriendo, va a seguir dándolo todo y pues defender a este escudo.
La estación número 1 del podcast.
Otro peligroso el remate. ¡Oh!
Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Latino America, and all you Chiva hermanos and Chiva hermanas around the globe. All you mothers and misters, Chiva brothers and sisters. Welcome to We Goat You Live. We're transmitting directly from La Perla Tapatía, home to the most glorious of teams, el Club Deportivo Guadalajara. Bienvenidos todos a We Goat You Live. Hey, everybody out there in the Chivaverse, bienvenidos. From my part, from the part of Gaby. Gaby, ¿cómo estás?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Robert, and hi, Chiva hermanos that are already starting the Chivas conversation. I see you, and I appreciate you being here on another episode of We Go To Live. Remember that the show is created by Chivas TV. As you can see right here, we're official, and we are a show for all our Chiva hermanas and Chiva hermanos that live outside Mexico and for some reason speak mostly in English, but we speak English, Spanish, Spanglish, because we speak Chivas. Welcome, everybody. Alfredo, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Gabi. Hi, Robert. Hi, Chiva hermanos. I'm very excited to be back. And as Robert said at the beginning of the show, I'm ready to go Puma hunting and make it a 9 out of 9 week. Because guess what? It's already a 6 out of 6 week for Chivas recovering itself, climbing positions, as well as we also have Chivas Femenil. We also have some activity of the guys that are down with the under-20 national team. Hugo Camberos, one of them. And we also have activity of La Cantera, of El Tapatio. Plenty of information. And hello to all of our Chivermanos who are watching us on the Telemundo Deportes official platforms, in their social media channels. We are also there in the Chivas and the Telemundo official media networks. Back to you, Robert.
Thank you, Alfredo and Gabi. Hey, guys, I'm so hyped. This is crazy. Have you ever had a less stressful week? Gabi, what's going on? I can't believe this. What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? 6 for 6. Gabi, can you explain it? What's going on?
We haven't had that feeling in a long time. And I think it's very, very reassuring, and it's very... I don't want to say like, yay, we got this and we're going to be champions of the world. I mean, I wish, but one game at a time. I think things are starting to work out better in our favor. We don't have this gush of bad luck, of being cursed by the referees and all that bad juju that it seems to be was against Chivas in the recent games, weeks, or whatever. We talked about how Chivas was able to be a power force inside the field, but for whatever reason, we weren't be able to score. We couldn't score, and we got losses at the end of the day because the other team had won, and they scored, and they won. And I think this time is kind of different. It's changing. I don't want to say that Milito finally has his ideal startup line, but I think it's starting to work out in a way where we're like, okay, yeah, we have a great defense, or I think we've seen better times of our defense, to be honest, but we are doing okay in defense and midfield, and our offensive line is doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. And the work that's been translating in the past games where we were offensive the first minutes of the game, the first 20 minutes of the game, and we were on top of the game, and suddenly something happens and the other team has 1-2 and they score, and the rest is history. But I think right now it's working. So we are in a good place. things are looking good, are looking promising, and we are officially in play-in situation.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Alfredo, we've finally reached 14 points. We have a play-in spot with 6 games left in the tournament.
That's right.
What are our possibilities? What do you think?
I was checking the table before coming here, and yeah, we are we're actually in playoff positioning, as Gabby was saying. And guess what? We are also only 6 points behind the straight Liguilla access from that sixth place. Still 6 games to go, which is 18 points left to be disputed. You know that the guys that are usually fifth, sixth tend to lose a lot of points. You know, they don't win as much as the top guys. So I really believe in our possibilities. Also, if you take into consideration that we have already paved out of the way some of the toughest opponents, such as Tigres, Toluca, America, that win in El Clásico de Mexico, also Cruz Azul. So we've already played those matches. Out of the really tough guys ahead, we only have Rayados de Monterrey. So I'm positive. You know, I'm optimistic of course, making it to the playoffs. And why not? Why not dream about something bigger? But it's too soon for that still.
True, true, true. Gabi, we
Yes,
just
sir.
heard Cotorro say he's Chiva, hermano,
Mm-hmm.
full on. But we were
Mm-hmm.
just talking about what he and Omar Govea have in common. Can you
Yes.
remind us of that point, please? Because it's historic.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So remember that in the last game, Cotorro and Omar Gobea scored, and not only that, they scored their very first goals as Chiva Hermanos wearing la rojiblanca. So not only they were able to help the team win that game, they are also right now making history with Chivas. You said it yourself, Cotorro is a Chiva hermano through and through. So I think, and you saw it in the celebration, right? Like he was like so happy. Uh, yeah, first goals as Chiva hermanos, and that goal, my goodness. We need to talk about that goal, right?
Let's do it right now.
I
Because
mean, and
what's up?
considering, just a quick thought. We all know and we are aware that this game was not played when it was supposed to be played because it was incredibly the weather. It was crazy, and it was played the next day. The field, the pitch was horrible. I was so scared because I was like, okay, they're gonna play fine, but in what conditions, right? It was horrible, and yet Chivas managed to do incredible, and that goal is going to go through history. Not only because it was an amazing goal, because of the conditions. I don't know. I don't want to. I want to listen to you guys.
The conditions, the pass was perfect,
Yes.
right? And Cotorro just went for it. It was beautiful. It was like watching one of those FIFA games, you know? It was
It was
unbelievable.
like it was like a painting.
I was just standing up, really, truly, getting up, and I was like, okay. And then the goal, I was like, what? Already? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And I was expecting, the truth is, I was expecting more. I don't know. And what to say of Govea's goal, please? Please,
Yes.
Alfredo, what did you think? What did you make of that? Obus.
You know, it was at the perfect timing because we had recently positioned ourselves at the front of the scoreboard, and you know, we just avoided a lot of uncomfortable situations that could have taken place on later on. And you know, Chivas was very serious when playing the ball, and just kept a lot of let's say a lot of concentration towards halftime. Then by halftime, the team, you know, as they would say in footballing language, the team froze the game and kept the result, kept the control of the game, and it was just I would say that the timing of the goal itself of that 2-0 couldn't have been better.
It could, I think we might have expected more as well. But the truth is, what Gabi is saying is so important. The pitch was not in conditions for the ball to really to really roll the way it's supposed to, but most importantly, wrong tackle, misstep, and that's the end of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was scary. It was scary.
Totally.
It
And
looked
it could have
like,
been
those
more.
games from the 70s in England,
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
I was expecting somebody to come flying out. Ah,
yeah, so many comments on social media like, "Hey, come on, you can play this." Like, yeah, you
get
could,
out of here.
but it's kind of terrifying. And considering again, if we're trying to make play in and liguilla and all the rest, like we need our team to be as healthy as possible, as healthy as possible. And yes, that was kind of scary, but I kind of agree. It could have been more because I don't remember um, they having like a clear goal opportunity. And Chivas had more definitely, but I think that was I think it was enough. Like it wasn't an enough display of how superior Chivas was in this specific game. And I mean, again, we don't talk ill about the rival, but Puebla is in the bottom of the table. Like we knew from the beginning that their strategy was not going to be too much intimidating. So with that being said, I think Chivas did enough. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
So we should be grateful. 6 for 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? 6 for 6. And let's see what Milito had to say about this match post Puebla.
Let's go.
Bueno, no eran las mejores condiciones por las condiciones que imaginábamos, pero teníamos que resolver el partido de todas maneras. Fuimos muy contundentes. El inicio o el primer tiempo fue muy bueno. El segundo tiempo sostuvimos muy bien el resultado. Quizás nos faltó conectar 4, 5, 6 pases para poder hacer transiciones y generar más llegada al arco rival. Pero bueno, estuvimos fuertes, estuvimos sólidos, demostramos carácter, pese al estado del campo, y sabemos, mejor dicho, que para nosotros ganar en este tramo final es indispensable para las aspiraciones que pretendemos.
There you go. I think he was thinking the same thing that we were thinking, a little frustrated, could have been a little bit more. His words said it all. What do you think, Alfredo?
Glass half
I
full.
think that
Glass half full.
yeah, I think that he was mainly more than maybe not really. Of course, he was satisfied, but I wouldn't say that he was happy. He was, liberated from what could have been last week. He was fine. He was pleased with the situation about the team kind of gaining some terrain back. So I think that Milito still thinks that there's still a lot of work to be done. That's why I said, and picking up on what Gabby was saying earlier on the show, that he still doesn't have that starting lineup, and he probably won't by the end of the tournament, because I hope that this is a long-term project, of course. So, but yeah, he was in previous press conferences, we've seen him, let's say, satisfied with the functioning of the team, but not with the results and some executions. But now I think that he was fine with what he saw last week.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
I agree.
So what can we expect, do you think, versus Pumas? Because now let's start talking about what's going on this weekend. Sunday. We're going to go Puma hunting. But what can we expect there? If we look at it, I think we are one position above Pumas. Right? Ninth
We have
and
just
10th
1
position.
point. We just have one more point than them.
Yes,
That,
it's
and we're
actually a direct duel for either coming closer to the straight Liga access, or from moving away even from the playoff spots. So it's gonna be tough.
I
It's
think
gonna
they're
be.
pretty evenly matched if we look at all the lines, right? Defensively speaking, and if we look at the numbers too, because that was my homework yesterday. I was looking at the numbers. We're not so far away, see?
No worries.
And statistically, I mean, as well. I think that perhaps we're so evenly balanced, there might be just a bit of a difference. I'm going to say it might be a little bit controversial, but Chivas is a little bit ahead. And I'm going to say it in this goal scoring positions. Why am I going to say that? Because when I was looking at the numbers, statistically speaking, you can't really tell if Pumas is doing well because their defense is not very solid. There's not really a leader that I see in their midfield from what I saw. And I see that those two positions for us are our strengths, although we've spoken about our deficiencies in the defense. Where do you think we're going to take control? Gabi.
I think right now, and to your point, in the sense that Chivas might be a little bit higher than Pumas, I think it's kind of like motivationally speaking. Right now, the momentum that Chivas has, I think it's what could possibly give us the advantage. Of course, we're playing in Capital Rojiblanca, but again, it's Capital Rojiblanca. I mean, we're playing away, but we know perfectly that Capital Rojiblanca is Capital Rojiblanca. So that could also play in our advantage. We could be talking about a 50-50 situation with the fans in the stands. So that's also incredible. And Hormiga has a good momentum as well. So I have a feeling again, and we were talking about this last show. It's not like it's a little too late. It's not, because there's still plenty of games ahead and we can still make liguilla, right? But
Right.
it's about finding the exact combination and what works for Milito and the boys. And I think we are starting to get there. I think it's working. And remember, we don't have two of the most important players in in Chivas. We don't have Piojo, we don't have Guti, and it's still working. So that speaks volumes. And I think right now, um, like in the how can you say this? Momentum wise, again, I'm sorry, I've said that like three times, but maybe that could be or play in our advantage. But again, I mean, as Alfredo was saying, it's a very tight situation because we're only 1 point ahead and we're both playing for a playing situation. We're both playing for Liga. So both teams need to win. The situation is completely different than with Puebla, that they had absolutely nothing to lose.
Totally, totally. And when you mention momentum, we also got to speak about the mental state of the team. At the end of the day, what were we saying right here in this show before El Clásico de Mexico, that the team was actually showing good football, that the team was playing with great intensity, playing aggressively, being so the guys were showcasing great solidarity with their teammates, with the relays, with the coverages, and Clásico de Mexico proved us right. And I think that could have been a point for the team to, when the scoreboard showed the good work that they were doing. And if you really view it on from another point of view, we were only one penalty kick away from defeating Tigres and America, both of them
Yes.
in the same week. So this is a team who can play against absolutely anyone. Even the Cruz Azul match was, I think we had some minutes of very interesting football. So I'm very excited to see how this tournament develops, how it ends. Hopefully Chivas can manage to not only win the matches but also play attractive football, and see how that influences the state of mind of the team overall.
Agree.
True. I like that. That was great, Alfredo. That was a
Mhm.
great rundown, my brother. I love that. That's really, really good point, my friend. And let's see, just like Marilu says, we're going to go beat those lindo gatitos. Alfredo, tell us where we can watch this match on Sunday, my brother.
Yes, so we're speaking about match week 12 of Liga MX this Sunday, October the 5th, kickoff at 7 p.m. Central Mexican Time, 8 p.m. Central Time of the United States for you Chivermanos in the USA who are already welcoming the fall. What a better plan than for Sunday evening than some Chivas against Pumas. Kickoff will be, as I said earlier, 8 p.m. Central. If you're in Mexico, you'll be able to watch it on El Canal 5, on 2DN, and also on VIX Premium. If you're in the United States, it will be on 2DN, on Univision, and on VIX.
There you go. We got to get that Chiva vibe going, my friends. So don't forget, 7 p.m. if you are in Mexico, we're going to go Puma hunting, gatito hunting. Gabriela, it's your turn. I cede the floor to you, my friend. It's all yours. Tell us.
Yes, sir.
Ilumínalos.
Yes, sir. So talking about going to Capital Rojiblanca, we're also Chivas Femenil is going to Capital Rojiblanca to face Pumas Femenil, and we're also very happy, and we are actually, yeah, I'm allowing myself to say this because we are very happy. We are currently in the 4th position of the general table. Yesterday's game against Mazatlan was very important because if we had that win, we could potentially be in the 4th position of the general table. And remember, we don't have play-ins and this stuff in Liga Femenil, but it's been a while since Chivas Femenil qualified to the Liguilla in the first 4 positions. And that also guarantees, if we keep that pace, that guarantees that Chivas will close the legs at home. So that's incredible, and we are aiming for that. So yesterday, Chivas faced Mazatlan Femenil, and it was a good game. I think it could have been a better game. We won 1-0 with a goal, guess by who? My girl, Denise Castro, the woman of the moment, with an assistant of Licha Cervantes. So keep an eye on those two because I think esa dupla is going to be incredible in the near future. Denise Castro currently with 4 goals in the entire tournament, consecutive goals actually, and Chivas Femenil with 4 consecutive wins, which right now again puts us in the 4th position of the general table. It's looking good. It's looking promising. Yesterday's lineup was a little different from what we've been seeing in previous games. Celeste Espino started. Viridiana Salazar was back. Remember, she was injured. Chelly Torres, my Chelly, I love her. I'm a Chelly believer. And she was back in the pitch. And it was a good game. Oh, and Caro Jarami was on the bench. So go figure. She came in, and it was a good game. Again, it could have been better. Unfortunately, Licha Cervantes failed to score a PK. So that's that. It could have been more goals for sure. At least I was just counting in my head how many goals could have been scored yesterday. At least 4. But nonetheless, we won. We are in the 4th position of the table. It's looking good for Chivas Femenil. A lot of opportunities. Again, we have an amazing starting 11, and we have an amazing banca. So it's looking good. And I want to ask you guys, what do you think?
Definitely. I was just saying, Denise, wow.
Yes.
Incredible. And you were saying, we were just chatting. Is she? And I'll ask the chat, is she the younger version of Licha? The younger, fiercer version, more aggressive? Because, wow. It doesn't seem like, I mean, it's only been, 4 matches now that she's been on? We've won those 4 matches, by the way, in a row consecutively, which is a high note. Again, for us, we haven't done that in quite a bit, I think. I don't remember the statistic specifically, but it's been a while now. So I'm just, how far will they go? That's my question. That's what I want to know.
Hopefully better than previous seasons. I think it's time for Chivas Femenil to come back to that amazing game that you always have and be possibly competing for the championship. Alfredo, what do you think?
Totally. You know what? I'm watching all the results of Chivas Femenil this tournament so far, and there's a clear recovery. A clear upheaval curve for the team. Pretty much, it's been 4 straight wins for the girls. That win in El Clásico de Mexico, of course, important. Even I was going to mention the Tigres game, a game where we were 3-0 by halftime, and the girls came out really strong the second half, not giving up, with great resilience, great spirits, and it's not easy. It's not easy to make this recovery, especially after how the latest tournaments have gone by. That room around the atmosphere, speaking about management, about the players, about cycles, and all of that. It's not easy to overcome all of that talk, and the girls are doing it. The girls are doing it. They're now top four, and I'm really proud of how they've been mentally strong and have overcome the situation that presented itself at the beginning of the tournament.
I like it.
And
I think that
guys,
we're
I
going to
have
see a very strong. Yes, go for it.
I have information on the agenda. There's Chivermanos who are always curious about how professional teams, move around, travel, practice, and all of that logistics. Remember that the girls played last night in Mazatlan, so they're now. I've understood that they're traveling back to Guadalajara. They're back in practice tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. Also, same schedule for Friday and Saturday. And actually, they will be playing at home at Estadio Akron, receiving Pumas at 11 a.m. Guadalajara time, which is also Central Mexican time.
Okay, and so where can we watch this, Gabi?
Yes, sir. Where can we watch Chivas Femenil against Pumas? Match week 14, Sunday, October the 5th. You can watch in Mexico through Prime Video, and in the United States a través de Telemundo Deportes, la casa de las Chivas en los Estados Unidos. And it's going to be at 11 a.m. Ojo ahí, because it's going to be very hot. But it's going to be a good game. I'm pretty sure about that. So again, on Prime Video in Mexico, Telemundo in the United States. And remember, if you are in a different time zone, you know what to do. But it's at 11 a.m. Mexico time.
There we go.
Well
Hopefully-
said. You do the math.
Yeah.
You do that.
You do the math. Let's do a shout out real quick to the chat because it's over bubbling over there. Everybody's going mad and crazy. Guys who are out there, especially I was reading one gentleman that was talking about how difficult it is to find the señal, to be able to watch the matches in Europe, I think, right? Can't watch it. So I don't know if anybody out there has something to help them with, help them out. A Chiva Hermano is asking for help. Point them out. So, Alfredo, as they're delving into that, what do you think is going to go on with Tapatio and los Subs? Tell us a little bit about that, my friend.
Yes, so Tapatio, let's say that the team started the tournament a lot better than what it is right now. It was the last results have not been the best. We had that 2-2 tie against Correcaminos at the Akron. We were 2-0 up by aggregate. Then we lost against Cancun last weekend, and we're down to the 8th place. So we're on a we're on a delicate position because 8th place is the last playoff spot, and we're actually triple tied with Venados and Morelia, who are 9th and 10th. However, there's room for climbing up positions. We're not that far away from Tepatitlan, who is 4th at the moment, only 3 points. So there's a big tie. There's a very equal positions, let's say, between the 4th place and the 11th place in Liga Expansión. We're 8th. We're pretty much in the middle of everything at the moment. Hopefully, the team manages to get back to a positive dynamic, since there's only 6 matches left to be disputed on the regular season. So getting a good dynamic right now will be so good towards the end of the regular tournament. So that's with Tapatio. The upcoming opponent will be Alebrijes for match week 10. We've actually had some pretty good results against them. especially by the fact that in the last 2 games against Alebrijes, we've scored 9 goals and we've only received 1. So hopefully the guys managed to get a positive result. Many of the guys who are right now in the team already know what it is to score against Alebrijes. Actually, the last time we faced them, it was a 3-1 win for El Rebaño, and 2 times ago it was a 6-0 win for El Tapatio. So hopefully the guys can get that win, reach the 14 points, and climb back to where they deserve to be. Of course, kickoff against Alebrijes is on Friday, this Friday at 5 p.m. Central Mexican time. The match is scheduled to take place at Estadio Akron, and if you're in Mexico, you're going to be able to watch it on YM Sports, AYM Sports.
So a lot to hope for there. Tapa has to do what they need to do, and they know how to do.
Totally,
best, no?
totally.
I think all three of us kind of started off slow.
Yeah.
It was just something like that. Real quick before we go, mention especial. We have our teams, your under 20s playing with the Selección Nacional.
Yes.
And they tied again, with some participation with, I would think it was Camberos in the last minute.
Eran Camberos.
So there we go. Tying against, we were in the Grupo de la Muerte, my friends.
I know.
Okay. So can you believe that? Tied against Brazil. We
But it's
tied
good.
now. Spain. It's beautiful.
It's good because Spain lost with Morocco, if I'm not mistaken. So
But Morocco.
I think right now the team we should look out for is Morocco because,
That might be the surprise, no?
yes, but it's looking good.
Or it might be
Mora,
the game of the century. Mora,
Right.
wow, that kid. What's up with that guy?
I know.
He's insane. It's hard to think of him as a juvenile, really.
Mhm.
He's just like so
He's
wise
amazing.
on his feet, no? Anyway, all you guys out there in the Chivaverse, sorry we could not mention all of you. We love you all. Thank you so much. We appreciate, like Gabi said earlier, you coming and sharing your time with us. Have a beautiful weekend, and hopefully next week we have good news for everyone.
Hopefully.
Nos vemos, chicos.
See you guys. Have a good one.
El pensar en estar en este club es muy bonito, que en lo personal me motiva mucho y como te comento voy a dar todo de mí.
Y esta noticia iniciaría a las 10.
Que esperen un Brian comprometido, a pesar de las adversidades va a seguir corriendo, va a seguir dándolo todo y pues defender a este escudo.
La estación número 1 del podcast.
Otro peligroso el remate. ¡Oh! ¡Oh!